The valet at Le Jardin Etoile took the keys to my brother Miguel's BMW with practiced elegance, while I stood on the sidewalk, admiring the restaurant's understated facade. Climbing ivy-framed windows that glowed with warm amber light, and even from outside, you could sense this was the kind of place where dinner cost more than most people's rent. "SHE can't afford places like this," Miguel whispered to his wife Catherine, not quite quietly enough. "Maybe we should suggest somewhere else. I don't want Sophia to be embarrassed when she sees the prices." I adjusted my simple black dress, the same one I'd worn to every family gathering for the past 2 years, and pretended not to hear. "It's fine," Catherine stage whispered back. "We'll just discreetly cover her portion." The poor thing, still working at that community center. Though really, whose birthday dinner choice is a Michelin star restaurant she can't afford. "It's not her birthday," Miguel corrected. "It's James's birthday. Sophia just picked the place because James asked her to." Our cousin James caught up with us, slightly out of breath. "Sorry I'm late. Traffic was murder." "Did Sophia already go in?" "We were just discussing," Aunt Carmen interjected, joining our sidewalk huddle with Uncle Roberto, "whether this is really appropriate. I mean, the girl drives a 15-year-old Honda. This place probably charges $30 for bread." "40, actually," I said mildly, "for the artisanal basket. Though it comes with 3 house-made butters, so it's quite worth it." They all turned to stare at me. "You've been here before?" Catherine's perfectly sculpted eyebrows rose. "Once or twice." I moved toward the entrance. "Shall we go in? Our reservation is at 8. The maitre d' opened the door with a slight bow. "Bonsoir, welcome to Le Jardin." His professional smile transformed into genuine warmth. "Mademoiselle Martinez, what a pleasure to see you again. Chef Antoine mentioned you might be dining with us tonight." "Hello, Francois. Party of 8 for Reeves." "Of course. Your usual table?" I felt my family's eyes boring into my back. "Actually, we'll take the main dining room tonight. I'm with family. But of course. Though Chef Antoine did want to know if you'd prefer the private dining room. He's prepared the special menu you requested for Mr. Reeves' birthday. The main dining room will be perfect, Francois." "Thank you." As he led us through the restaurant, I heard Aunt Carmen hiss to Miguel, "How does she know the maitre d'?" The dining room was exactly as I remembered, cream-colored walls, crystal chandeliers that cast dancing lights across original Impressionist paintings, and tables set with enough silverware to perform minor surgery. Francois seated us at a prime table overlooking the garden, its fountain lit by subtle spotlights. "Your waiter tonight will be Philippe," Francois informed us. "Though Chef Antoine asked me to tell you he'll stop by personally later." After he left, 7 pairs of eyes turned to me. "You come here often?" Uncle Roberto's voice cracked slightly. "Define often." I opened my menu, though I knew it by heart. "Sophia, these prices." Catherine had gone pale. "The appetizers start at $80. "Don't worry about it," I said. "Dinner's on me tonight. It's James's birthday, after all." "That's very sweet," Miguel said carefully. "But Sophia, we can't let you." "Good evening." Philippe appeared with the wine list. "Ms. Martinez, Chef Antoine has selected the 2015 Chateau d'Yquem to start, as you requested." "Shall I pour?" "That would be lovely, Philippe." Miguel grabbed the wine list, flipping to the dessert wines. His strangled gasp was audible. "Sophia, this wine is $800 a bottle." $800 for the half bottle," I corrected. "The full bottle is considerably more. But the 2015 is exceptional with the foie gras." "Foie gras?" James perked up. "I love foie gras." "I know. That's why I ordered it. Chef Antoine does an incredible seared foie with honeycomb and black truffle." "Ordered?" Aunt Carmen's voice rose. "You pre-ordered?" "Just a few special items for James. The rest of the menu is à la carte." Philippe poured the golden wine with ceremonial precision. As he left, my cousin Maria, who'd been silent until now, leaned forward. "Sophia, what's going on? Last month you said you couldn't come to my spa weekend because of budget constraints." "I said I couldn't come because I was working," I reminded her. "The community center had a major fundraising event that weekend." "Right, the community center," Catherine said slowly. "Where you're what is it exactly?" "Director of Operations." "That pays enough for." She gestured vaguely at our surroundings. Before I could answer, a figure in chef's whites approached our table. Chef Antoine Dubois, James Beard Award winner and culinary legend, broke into a warm smile. "Sophia, ma chère Amy." He kissed both my cheeks in the French style. "How long has it been?" 2 weeks. 3, I smiled back. You were in Tokyo for the pop-up. Ah, yes. And how is the new youth culinary program? Did the equipment arrive? Yesterday. The kids are beyond excited. 20 new students enrolled immediately. Magnifique. You must tell me all about it. But first, he turned to the table. You must be Sophia's family. She speaks of you often. She does. Miguel looked stunned. But of course. Especially you, he pointed to James. The cousin who loves to cook but is, how did you put it, Sophia? Tragically stuck in investment banking? James laughed. That sounds like something Sophia would say. I have prepared special courses tonight in honor of your birthday. Sophia sent me your favorite ingredients last week. Quite a challenge, but I think you'll be pleased. Sophia sent? James stared at me. And for the finale, Chef Antoine continued, I've prepared my grandmother's chocolate soufflé with cardamom ice cream. Sophia mentioned it's your favorite dessert from that trip to Paris. You remembered? James looked touched. I mentioned that once, like 3 years ago. She remembers everything about the people she loves, Chef Antoine said warmly. It's what makes her such an exceptional philanthropist. Speaking of which, the Times wants to do a follow-up piece on the culinary scholarship program. Are you amenable? We'll discuss it later, I said quickly. Tonight is about family. Of course, of course. Enjoy your meal, Ms. Amos. Sophia, don't leave without saying goodbye. I have ideas for the summer program. After he left, the silence at our table was deafening. Philanthropist? Uncle Roberto finally managed. Philippe returned with the first course. The foie gras Chef Antoine had mentioned, presented on individual plates like edible art. Sophia, Miguel set down his wine glass carefully. What exactly do you do? I told you. I'm director of operations at the community center. Which community center? Catherine pressed. The Martinez Foundation Community Center. The Martinez. Aunt Carmen's fork clattered to her plate. As in the Martinez Foundation? The one that just donated $50 million to build the new children's hospital. Abuela Martinez would have wanted her money to help kids, I said simply. She always said the family fortune should do good in the world. Family fortune? Maria squeaked. What family fortune? I sighed. This wasn't how I'd planned for them to find out. Abuela's father. My great-grandfather. He owned several copper mines in Chile. When Abuela passed 5 years ago, she left everything to me. But you drive a Honda, Catherine protested. It runs perfectly. Why would I need a new car? You wear the same dress to every event. It's comfortable and appropriate. Why would I need more? You live in that tiny apartment, which is close to the community center and has everything I need. Miguel rubbed his temples. So you're rich. I have money, I corrected. But wealth isn't about what you have, it's about what you do with it. I live on my community center salary. Everything else goes to the foundation. Everything? James asked quietly. Pretty much. Scholarships, youth programs, food banks, medical clinics. We're opening 3 new centers next year. Why didn't you tell us? Hurt colored Aunt Carmen's voice. We're family. I chose my words carefully. Would it have changed how you see me? How you treat me? The uncomfortable silence was answer enough. 3 months ago, I continued, at Elena's wedding, you all spent 20 minutes discussing whether I could afford a proper gift. Miguel offered to lend me money. Catherine suggested I could make something crafty instead. Uncle Roberto pulled me aside to say there was no shame in my situation. They had the grace to look embarrassed. But that's how you've always seen me, as poor Sophia. The one who chose non-profit work over a real career. The one who needs help, needs pity, needs financial advice about my poor life choices. We were trying to help, Aunt Carmen protested weakly. Were you? Or were you enjoying feeling superior? The words came out sharper than intended. Every family gathering, someone makes a comment about my car, my apartment, my job. Someone always offers to pay for my meal or suggests I could make more money elsewhere. Sophia, Miguel started. I'm not finished. You never once asked about my work. Not really. You never asked about the kids whose lives were changing or the families we're helping. You saw community center and assumed failure. You saw my old Honda and assumed poverty. You saw my choices and assumed I was less than you. Philippe appeared with the second course, a delicate fish dish that looked like it belonged in a museum. The family ate in silence, digesting more than just the exquisite food. Finally, James spoke. We're idiots. James, his mother protested. No, Mom, we are. Sophia's out here literally changing the world, and we're patronizing her about her car. He turned to me. I'm sorry, Sophia. We all are. Right. A chorus of mumbled apologies circled the table. I don't want apologies, I said. I want you to understand something. The community center? It's not a consolation prize for someone who couldn't make it in the corporate world. It's my calling. Those kids, many from immigrant families like ours once was, they deserve the same chances we got. Better chances. The culinary program Chef Antoine mentioned, James said slowly. That's for kids who want to cook, kids who love food but can't afford culinary school. We provide training, mentorship, job placement. Chef Antoine teaches a master class once a month. For free. For kids who could never otherwise learn from a James Beard winner? Yes, for free. Maria leaned forward. What else do you do? At the foundation. For the first time all evening, I genuinely smiled. Want to hear about it? They did. As course after course appeared, each more magnificent than the last, I told them about the after-school programs, the senior center, the health clinics, the scholarship students now at Ivy League schools. I showed them pictures on my phone of kids learning robotics, seniors taking art classes, families at our food pantry that looked more like a farmer's market. This is incredible, Catherine breathed. I had no idea. Because you never asked, I said gently. You saw what you expected to see. Can we? Uncle Roberto hesitated. Can we help? With the foundation. You want to help? I'm retired, he said. I've got time. And I used to teach high school math before I went into insurance. We need math tutors, I admitted. One by one, they offered skills, time, resources. Not money, which I found ironically appropriate, but genuine help. Miguel's expertise in digital marketing. Catherine's connections in the fashion industry for our job training program. Aunt Carmen's bilingual skills for our ESL classes. When the legendary chocolate soufflé arrived, complete with a candle for James, Chef Antoine reappeared. How was everything? Life-changing, James said, and I don't think he was just talking about the food. As we were leaving, Francois handed me a discreet leather folder. The check, Ms. Martinez. Catherine peered over my shoulder and gasped. $4,000? Worth every penny, I said, signing without hesitation. It's not every day your cousin turns 30. Outside, waiting for the valet, Miguel pulled me aside. Sophia, I owe you more than an apology. We've been terrible to you. You've been human, I corrected. We all make assumptions. You could have shut us down years ago. Told us about the money. And then what? You'd have treated me differently, but for the wrong reasons. I wanted you to see me, not my bank account. I see you now, he said quietly. And I'm ashamed it took all this. The valet brought his BMW around, then my ancient Honda, its paint oxidized but engine purring. Same car, Aunt Carmen noted, but her tone was different now, admiring rather than pitying. Same car, I agreed. It still gets me where I need to go. As I drove home, my phone buzzed with texts. Miguel, sending ideas for social media campaigns. Catherine, asking about the job training program. James, thanking me for remembering his favorite dessert and asking if he could volunteer for the culinary program. Back in my small apartment, I kicked off my heels and sank into my second-hand couch. On the coffee table sat a photo of Abuela Martinez, taken at the community center we'd built together before she passed. Well, Abuela, I said to her smiling face. The family knows now. All of it. I could almost hear her voice. Mija, money doesn't make you rich. What you do with it does. She was right, of course. The revelation at dinner hadn't changed who I was. It had just changed how they saw me. But maybe that was okay. Maybe now we could move past the assumptions and really see each other. My phone buzzed again. A text from James. Thank you for tonight. Not just dinner. For showing us who you really are. P.S. Can I bring my kids to the community center this weekend? They want to meet their amazing aunt who's secretly Batman. I laughed, texting back. Batman had a cave. I have a Honda. But yes, bring them. Saturday's pizza-making day in the kids' kitchen. Another text from Maria. I'm sorry we made you feel small. You're the biggest person I know. As I got ready for bed, I thought about wealth and worth, about assumptions and revelations. Tomorrow, I'd be back at the community center, in jeans and sneakers, working on grant proposals and program schedules. My family would see me differently now, but my work, my real work, remained the same. The irony wasn't lost on me. They'd thought I couldn't afford the restaurant, when in truth, I could have bought it. But the greater irony was that they'd thought my life was small because my apartment was, that my worth was less because my car was old. Now they knew the truth, that sometimes the richest people are the ones who give it all away, and that true wealth isn't measured in Michelin stars or designer clothes, but in lives changed and communities transformed. Though I had to admit, the look on Miguel's face when Chef Antoine kissed my cheeks? That was absolutely priceless.